Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Tacklin' Twitter, the show where we talk about a tweet in 140 seconds or less. So today's tweet comes from Anand Sanwal, who says, "The unoriginality of the media in dealing with their business model challenges is pretty amazing. Was native advertising, pivot to video, now events subscriptions. What's the next panacea?"
I think that's, aside from what's the next idea, I think it's more speaks to the fact that entrepreneurs tend to be pretty creative, original, coming up with wild cockamamie ideas. But I think a lot of the execs, and people are not going to like me saying this, but a lot of the execs that are brought on in these companies, which are basically hitting a wall in terms of revenue growth to kind of kickstart and take it to the next level, tend to be more bigger companies, more established companies, where it is a lot of hey, this is really not going to win me any friends. They just go what are the other guys doing? What's happening? And then they kind of come up backwards to be we should be doing this as well. And then the problem why that sucks is the things that are working now were plotted and schemed and implemented months, if not a year or years ago. So that's why today the things that are working are actually 2 years in the making. But when you read about somebody having success, subscriptions, whatever, then you kind of like a sheep go after it. So I think that's why that's happening. What's next? Look, there's an entrepreneur somewhere in his basement coming up with a crazy idea. If you really want to know what's next, you should go listen to that guy. You shouldn't be reading what the Digidays and the Tube Filters and the media posts and the tech crunches say. What we are doing are things that don't make sense right now. We're launching a record label where that makes no sense. I'm not saying it'll work, but I'm just saying I think in 2-3 years that'll make a lot of sense. Not saying everybody should do that, but that's the thinking, because it's something that should not make sense right now. That's an example of thinking outside of the box.
Right. Google does a lot of things that make no sense. Anyway, let us know if you have any tweets that we should talk about or any questions, and we'll see you next time.